Welcome to Monday Night TPK.
Hey, welcome back. Thank you for joining us. This is Monday Night TPK. My name is Kyle, and I am DMing this 5th edition Real Play Dungeons and Dragons podcast. We are currently going through the Tomb of Annihilation, and sitting at the table with me are 4 just fantastic people. People whom, without them, we would not be able to do this. So, Ryan, what's new since last time I saw you?
I'm a little older now.
That's right, you had your birthday.
Yeah.
You're
Happy
what,
belated birthday.
56 now?
Yeah.
Well, less than that?
You compliment me.
Dana,
Mm-hmm.
how you doing?
Oh, I'm alright.
Anything exciting happening in your life?
No, not anything. Nothing's changed at all.
Nothing's changed, nothing's new?
Nope.
Sorry to hear
How's
that.
things going?
Aw, snap. Matt,
Yes.
what's going on?
Not much new.
Sweet.
Same old.
Same old, same old. Sam, how you doing?
I'm a little sleepy, but I got some coffee, so it's gonna be good. How you doing?
Oh, I'm great. Thanks for asking. You're drinking coffee this late at night?
Yup.
You're never gonna sleep.
I mean, it seems to be a trend, so we're just gonna keep powering through it.
Gilly is gonna have a lot of. She's gonna be extra vocal tonight, isn't she?
Time will tell.
All right. So a lot has happened. Our heroes are heading into the jungles of Chult. I feel like I could say a lot, but I won't. Instead, I'm going to let Sam read her notes from the last session.
Sure. Well, in episode 21, we started out, Montwood packed away the map in his person pouch. That's copyrighted, folks. Sorry.
Your personal person pouch.
It's kind of like a prison pouch.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Disappointed.
The group then killed some hours, figuratively, not literally, and they listened to the races going by. The group decided to send Montwood down to the bar to search for Iku, and bring her up to the room. That's right, we were all waiting in our hotel room. Bar was really busy. Sent down a lone soldier, and he was successful. Rixer, in the meantime, folded up the map and put it in his shirt? Question mark? Well, that happened. And then Iku joined the room. Oh, wow, that's a word.
I think that's supposed to be Kier Sabal.
Yes, it is. We found the Akakra.
Aarakocra?
Aarakocra, there we go. Run the temple there. Life is hard, folks. And then we learned lots of things about the Yuan-Ti. They used to have a powerful city, but had to disperse because they were banned. And we learned that the Flaming Fist was at the city of Mesro. So this is Iku kind of recapping the map and things that she knows and all of that. She told us that the Flaming Fist are a nuisance in the jungle, and Fort Balorian is their camp, and they're bullies. We learned a little bit about the previous spell plague. It happened approximately 100 years ago. And it was because of an upheaval among higher powers. People were depowered, magical cities fell from the skies. Iku didn't know of mortal interference that fixed the spell plague. It was more of a godly level. The city of Mesro lost its protection in that plague. And then, for some reason, Rixer was still drunk. Iku gave us some more information, and the group decided as a whole that despite some awesome stories we heard down in the bar, we were still continuing with our plan to go see the Oracle. Iku said she would meet us at Gil's survival shop in the morning. And we decided as a group to hide the map of Cholt in Gilly's bag. Tell him on that.
Oh,
The
that's
group
right.
decided to eat dinner and get some rest. After a full night's rest, the group packed up, went to Gil's, met up with Iku, and we all got ready to head into the jungle. What?
Copyrighted music plays.
What kind of copyrighted music?
Ones we can't mention?
Because of a copyright
Yes.
that
We'll
involves.
get banned in the Christmas Islands again.
No!
I hear that most of our listeners are from the Christmas Islands. I may have just made that up.
I'd like to believe that you didn't.
I was looking at our downloads, and as of this morning, we had 196 downloads
I knew
Woohoo!
we were getting up there. Yeah.
as of episode whatever released recently. Not the one that releases today this afternoon, but
Right. Pretty cool.
is it? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. Like, I guess it could be less.
It could be less.
So,
It could be 0.
yeah.
It could be 0.
13?
I'm not sure.
I
It's-
can't
it just
remember where
released
we're
today.
at.
Doesn't matter.
Something. It's in the teens though.
It's in the teens.
Well, thank you, all of you almost 200 downloaders.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Thanks for listening to us talk.
I don't know why you do it. I wouldn't do it. Okay.
For the puns.
Alright, so you guys are heading into the jungle. You are split up amongst 2 canoes, and I don't think we ever really figured this out. And I should have asked you guys this last week. Who is in which canoe?
How do we divide to split up? We had it separate a certain way.
We did. We
And
discussed
maybe-
it once.
Yeah, if you did, I didn't make notes.
We talked about how we were carrying the canoes.
You were with Iku?
Well, at
No,
one point,
it
I
was
think
Montwood.
out of game, we talked about how we were going to ride,
Oh,
split
okay.
the party
Yeah, I don't remember
into.
that. I know that Montwood and Rixer carried one canoe, and then Iku and Brielle carried the other.
Mhm.
I think that makes
But-
a good setup.
Yeah. Okay.
I think for like in the canoe rowing purposes, cause Rixer's pretty big guy,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah,
So, 2 Rixer plus 1 in one boat,
Mhm.
and then the other 3 in the other,
Yeah.
to kind of equal out weight.
Mhm. And like Ryan said, I think that probably the way we just said it was divided would work because Montwood is going to be, I don't know, lighter
Yeah.
than Brielle or Iku. So kind
So,
of helps balance the weight out a little bit more.
so I'll jump in Brielle and Iku's boat.
Yeah.
Okay. 'cause that-
Should we put both of the survivalists in the same boat? Because Brielle is also a survivalist.
Oh, that's fair.
I mean,
That's like putting both the clerics in the same party and splitting the party.
Well, let's see if this matters or changes things. In terms of every day that you guys are in the jungle, you have to navigate to your destination. So every day at the beginning of the day, one person in your party has to make. Well, so I will make a survival check behind my screen on their behalf. It could be Iku if you want Iku to be the one that's making your navigation checks every day. If at some point you guys are guideless, I would still make the roll myself using your stats.
You say guideless, and that terrifies me.
The purpose of this is because if you get lost, you guys have seen the map, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
on foot, like it's broken up into hexes. On foot, you can travel 1 hex a day. That's equivalent to 10 miles. If you're on the river, you can travel 2 hexes per day.
Okay.
And if you are rolling well enough with your navigation checks, you continue to go the way you want to go toward the destination you're trying to find. If you fail, and you guys aren't supposed to know if you failed or not, you basically get lost, and then I roll a die to see what direction from your previous location you actually move. River travel it's still possible to get lost because you might follow a tributary as opposed to the main river, or not take the right tributary as opposed to the main river or something.
Right. So you're making a roll and we're trying to beat that roll, or you're
Nope,
just...
I
He
have
just makes it.
I have a DC.
Oh.
And then adds whoever's doing its bonus.
Yeah, so if you don't have EQ and you want to go off of
Okay.
Brielle's survival, you could do that, but I would roll the die and have the number with Brielle's
Okay.
modifiers.
Okay. Alright, okay. Thank you for
No, that's fine.
re-explaining.
So if at some point the party gets split up, then probably like one from each canoe would have to do the survival, correct?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you guys are totally split up, you would have to each be rolling it, which would be great. That'd be so great. I hope that happens.
Well, Rickster is trained in survival. He's a +4. If that, I don't know.
Brielle's trained in it as well.
Right. And then,
You probably have a high wisdom to go with it too.
No,
No.
I have a +1 in the wisdom. Because we rolled our stats.
Right.
I have a +3 into wisdom, but I am not
But you
trained.
do not have survival.
No.
Right.
I have +4, but not trained. I do have guidance. Which is kind of pseudo training, but it works.
So,
Mom was driving the boat.
does this modify who is in which canoe?
and that's, I guess, up to everybody else. Like, I think that that's the best way to do it, but I don't know that it's going to be significantly worse. Something wrong?
No,
Okay.
I was just,
kept on looking at that and then looking at me. So.
you were a little bit flat, but
Oh,
when you face the microphones, you're better.
okay. I don't know that it's gonna make things significantly like better or worse switching, but if anybody else has a preference, we'll do that.
At least seem even across the board.
Yeah.
Well, I like that if Montwood and Rickster go in the boat together, Montwood's got a +4 and guidance.
So we're doing Iku and Rixer.
No.
No.
Montwood and Rickster in one canoe. Everybody else in the other.
Got it. So I'm gonna make some notes about that. So canoe 1 is Montwood.
Take a picture.
Oh,
Don't
I should have
worry,
bought my boat.
Don't worry, Rickster will.
Oh yeah, because you have the little boat
going.
now. Yeah.
Only one.
We need a mini for Iku. Kyle, do you want to get out your character bin and I'll look for one?
Yeah, give me a second here. I think I can do that. See, Iku, Brielle, and Gilly. And I'm going to pause the recording while I'm hunting for a mini.
Yeah.
Alright, so the canoes are Canoe 1, Montwood and Rixer. Canoe 2 is going to be Iku, Brielle, and Gilly. And I'm just going to assume that all of your miscellaneous gear is kind of divided up more or less equally. Equally amongst you. Ever becomes somehow necessary to figure out for maybe what you lose purposes.
I have what I have.
We can take your list and figure it out. It's fine.
Sure.
I have a big inventory list that
I know you do.
kept separate. So.
Yeah. Cool. So you guys are on the river. You are leaving Chult. I'm sorry. You are leaving Port Nyanzaru. It's at your back. After a couple hours, the sounds of the city begin to kind of fade away, and you're left with the sounds of the jungle. You know, you're left with the sounds of birds. You can hear sometimes some large things beyond the riverbank kind of moving around. The rivers are very, very slow and sluggish. They do seem to kind of you guys would be having to kind of row. Is it going to be against the stream you're going, so you can't just like lazily drift, but they're not going very fast, so it's not going to take a lot of effort to continue to just kind of row rather. But speaking of rolling, I'm not going to use that die.
Thank you.
I'm going to use a different die.
that the one that's been
Yeah,
going bad?
misbehaving. Can I assume you want Iku to make this?
I mean, it makes the most sense since
Mhm.
she's familiar with the territory.
Okay. I'm gonna make a note of that.
Maybe we're lucky and she has a +5.
Maybe you're lucky and she has a +5.
Maybe.
Maybe you're not lucky. She doesn't have a +5.
Maybe she has a +2. We don't know.
So, what do you guys want to be doing while you're rowing, while you're on the canoes? Is there anything you want to be like looking out for, talking about?
How close to the river banks are we?
The rivers are quite wide.
Okay.
They're probably it's going to vary obviously from place to place.
Right.
But 30, 40 feet across
Oh, okay, wow.
is pretty common. You might have to narrow it down to 20 feet in some places.
Okay.
When maybe the river's gonna get a little choppier, but it's quite large. It's quite wide, and Iku is going to insist that unless you need to pass other kind of river traffic, to stay towards the center.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
She would tell you that there are creatures in the jungle that if you stray too close to the edge, they may become a problem.
Oh.
Yeah.
She'll point out here and there, in fact, like crocodiles. You'll see spines of dinosaurs that she'll point out. It starts with a D. I'm blank on the name. It's totally a thing, though. Dimetrodon, maybe? Doesn't matter.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, duck.
Yeah, they're
So, all kinds of stuff. She's going to tell you that right here, probably the undead isn't a super big problem. But as you go deeper into the jungle, just zombies on the lake or the river shore might become an issue.
okay.
She's going to warn you to try to stay out of the water because quippers tend to like to follow in swarms. Just danger everywhere. She's going to remind you not to drink the river water
Right.
because she's going to tell you that throat leeches are nobody's friend.
Yeah, that sounds horrible.
And that's what Gilly was kind of thinking of. I guess, would it be feasible for us to set up water rain catchers on the canoes? Is it?
Probably not.
If you wanted to do it, maybe on Montwood and Rixer's canoe, because there's going to be a little bit more open space there, you probably could set one rain catcher up.
Okay. I guess is it raining?
It's usually misting at least a little bit, but today you have near cloudless perfect skies,
Okay.
and today you do not find any rain coming in. But to that end, like the sun, I mean, like, okay, it's very, very hot. You're lucky you're under the canopy a little, for the most part. It does kind of break in the very, very center of the river a little bit, but the canopy of the jungle does provide some shade and a little bit of cooling, but it is just incredibly, unbearably hot.
Okay. Now that we're starting to enter the jungle, I guess Gilly's gonna pull out a can of the what we called bug juice, but like the repellent salve. Unscrew it, dab some on her finger and across her forehead and on her. Well, I guess she'd put it on her neck, not on her cheeks. So on her neck and across her forehead.
Alright, this is the one that like is the personal one that you have to like.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have
Like
applied.
24-hour one.
You have applied 24 hours worth of bug repellent to yourself.
Yeah. You want to not get eaten by bugs?
Bria will take it.
Okay.
And there definitely are insects. Especially the deeper you go into the jungle, away from the stronger winds that might be associated with the lake shore, the shore by Port Nyanzaru.
So how, so since the river is going rather slow,
Mm-hmm.
probably not making a lot of noise, and it would be at least somewhat possible to communicate back and forth from one canoe to the other.
Sure.
Okay.
Hey friends, don't forget about your bug juice.
I mean, if the
Oh.
river's 40 feet wide, we could still be at least 5 foot apart so our boats aren't right next to each other.
Well, yeah, but just
with
like,
plenty of space.
Yeah, but I just mean like to yell back and forth if we needed to for communication. Just want to make sure that was
Yeah,
a thing.
at the moment there seems to be no problem with that.
Okay, cool. So yeah, Rixer would stop rowing for a minute and put on some bug juice.
Okay, you are now also coated in bug juice.
This stuff doesn't smell very good. Put some on mine.
Cool. All y'all are now covered in bug juice.
Mm-hmm.
It does have a little bit of an odor to it.
I know. Can't be.
Office. Horrible smelling.
Okay, is there anything you guys want to talk about or do, or we can also
Brielle's
fast?
just gonna kind of relax. Just sit back. She looks like she's really relaxing, but she's also keeping an eye out on the surroundings
Sure.
as well.
Okay, so keeping an active eye on
Yeah.
what's.
Rather than active eye, that is.
Are you rolling me a perception check?
Yes, I am. That would be 15.
And be kind of as I described before, birds are chirping. There is some movement further on both banks. Nothing that seems to be above the taller ground cover.
She's just gonna keep an eye out as we go down the river.
Sure.
But she looks like she's relaxing to not make it look like she's
You want to do a deception check, Matt?
on edge. Oof, that's a 1.
Yeah. Okay. Totally.
Totally chill.
She thinks she's chill. Everyone else she can see her just like darting her head back and forth, like eyes wide.
I appreciate your vigilance.
She pulls out that Bolo's book and starts kind of flipping through it.
How about Motwood or Rixer? What are you guys doing?
I will relax. I got plenty of room in this boat. I kick up my feet onto the long ways. Like, yeah, just let me know if you want me to take a turn. You seem to got it though.
so Rixer's doing the rowing.
Yeah, of course. No.
You said you were.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep, I got it. Don't worry. And Rixer's not so much like relaxed as just like calm, and kind of like taking in the scenery as he's rowing.
Okay.
So.
Cool.
I will work on trying to thread that. I'll set up for this. Thread that fishing hook onto my fishing line.
I mean, you can do it very easily. I
Alright.
mean, it's got a little eyelet on it. You can put your fishing line through it. No problem.
Alright.
Cool. Gilly?
Gilly would take some time and ask Iku, so, like, where have you been in this jungle? What sort of things have you faced? And just kind of encouraging Iku to tell more of what she's done in the jungle, more of what to look for.
Yeah. Well, I've been from one end of this jungle to the other. I have been all the way to the snout of Ongar to the south. I've even crossed the short sea into Lanton a couple times. But I've been to the Mistcliff Mountains. I've been to the Sky Lizard Mountains, the Peaks of Flame, the Wild Coast. I have been throughout this whole jungle.
Wow. What's the most terrifying thing you've ever faced? And where was it?
She seems to think for a few moments. I lost a very poorly prepared party to fire newts along the Peaks of Flame several years ago. It was they did not listen to my words of warning, and they attempted to explore a cavern network that I told them looked very dangerous. I warned them again and again, and they refused to heed my warnings, and they went in and they encountered a whole nest of fire newts. I was barely able to escape with my life.
Oh, no.
It was very tragic.
Fire newts.
Real begins looking through the Volo's book specifically for fire newts.
What else? What else have you faced? More common things.
Common things. The jungle is full of zombies, of course, as you know.
Yeah, zombies.
Undead zombies and sort of living zombies as well.
What?
Have you been warned? Hold on.
Sort of living zombies.
Uh-huh.
That sounds new. Sort
I
of
can
living zombies.
find the page.
So not undead.
I think they are technically undead,
Technically
but
undead.
there is a creature inside of them that animates them in a way that mimics undeath. There is a type of flower in the jungle. It's very rare,
Okay.
very uncommon, but at the same time very, very deadly. It's called the yellow musk creeper.
Yellow.
You will recognize it with its enormous yellow and red flowers with yellow and red tendrils that kind of snake out of its center point. It can almost, I don't know, like a projectile, like fire. It seeds into you, and if you aren't very, very careful and you don't remove them right away, the seeds they hatch inside of you, and they connect to you, and they become part of you. And the plant, you technically die, but the plant lives and thrives inside of you.
Oh.
It is terrifying.
Oh.
If we encounter any undead that have unnatural vines seeming to grow in or around them, we need to keep an eye out very close to this flower.
Okay. And like, is there a distance we should keep away from the flower? Like, it sounds like we don't have to ingest these seeds. They can like shoot into our bodies.
Yes, it fires these seed pods out of its center chamber.
Ugh. That's weird. So yeah, stay away from those.
Again, they are quite rare. I know I have seen them around the ruins of Nangalore. Of course, I can't find it. I'm not sure about the pronunciation.
Sure. I'm gonna need that whole name again.
Name of what?
The place where they're around. It was busy.
Nangalore. I know I have seen them around the ruins of Nangalore. But they live elsewhere in the jungle too.
Gross.
The jungle is, as I've said before, the jungle is full of wonders. It is full of life, but it is also a dangerous place. And if you don't know what you're doing, you may very well find yourself dead.
Well, I am very glad that you are with us.
I am happy that I found a group of travelers who are trying to do something good in this world and not just seek out treasure.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes.
So you guys continue to converse and row on.
Billy is like looking at plant life. Like.
Yeah. Like every third plant, you're like, is that yellow? Is that too yellow?
Yep. Yeah.
But you also don't see any plants firing out seed pods at you.
Fair enough.
So
Phew.
you got that going for you.
Okay. This flower is suspiciously yellow. White bird.
Rixer and Brielle, give me perception checks.
Thanks.
14.
12.
Alright, Rixer, so you're in the lead boat, right? Or no? Probably
No,
not.
probably Iku is.
Probably Iku is. The lead boat seems to be too busy in conversation and reading books to maybe really notice what's going on. But you see up ahead, the river is beginning to kind of do a curve, which is pretty normal. But through the brush, you can see what appears to be a large stone building, just past the edge of the river.
Okay. Like, weirdly close to the river edge?
I mean, it is quite close to the river's edge. I mean, it's not like protruding off into the river, and it looks like it's maybe a little bit overgrown.
Okay.
But you can kind of see, I don't know, part of walls and part of a roof sticking above. It's like not above the tree line, way up there, but it's definitely above the undergrowth.
Okay. Hey, you guys see that? The building is Iku. Are there people that live along here?
And if Rixer points it out, the rest of you guys can see it then pretty clearly.
Whoa.
That is, it's hard to tell from here, and you guys are still, I mean, a fair distance away, really, 50, 60 feet away or more. It looks like some sort of temple. To answer your question, no, there are no permanent settlements through here at all. But the jungle is full of shrines and small ancient temples to Opteu. If this is a temple to Opteu, this may be a good opportunity to stop and gain his fortune. Or gain his favor, rather. If you are all interested.
Sure. Sounds good. Let's do that.
But the boat's so nice. What do you think, Brielle? Should we go? Is it worth the risk?
It's pretty close to the edge.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like it's busting over the edge into the water, but it's less than 30 feet away.
Now that I'm aware of it, I'd like to make another perception check and to see if there's anything around it that might be dangerous.
Sure.
These plants that were talked about or any creatures. That is a 19 on the dice. That is a 22.
It seems calm. It seems quiet.
As you're holding the monster manual.
Don't read too much into that.
Can I do my ghost sight? I know you could say that there wasn't much undead around, but...
Yeah. Remind me again, I'm sorry, what exactly is it?
60 feet if they're not under complete cover.
Yeah, because we made that mistake last time, right?
Yeah.
And it's just undead.
Mm-hmm.
You do not sense any undead within 60 feet.
Alright. This house is clean.
Okay.
So, are you guys interested in stopping, or what's going on?
I mean, Rixer will go along with whatever.
Iku, what's your opinion?
Well, as I said, it does seem to be safe right now, and I guess if we were able to seek out and gain Opteu's favor, that could be a boon for us.
Wasn't that a dinosaur?
No.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can get a dinosaur?
There are many dinosaurs in the jungle.
Yeah. we should stop. Wait, can a dinosaur fit on this boat?
A small one,
Guys.
perhaps, but I hope we don't find any dinosaurs.
Guys, Opteu is the god of dinosaurs and mazes. If he isn't a dinosaur?
Religion check?
Religion check?
Give me a religion check.
He's an
12,
amazing
13,
dinosaur.
14, 15, 16?
You have not seen any depictions of him as if he was a dinosaur. You have seen him depicted as a king,
Yes.
but or a warrior, but not as a dinosaur.
Okay. To be clear, I've never seen him depicted as a dinosaur, but he is the god of dinosaurs and mazes. So,
Yeah, that makes sense then why that dinosaur was called Oteu's favor.
yeah. Yeah, Gilly, like, emphatically shakes her head, yes. Yeah. I just didn't want you getting your hopes up going in there thinking there was a dinosaur and then there's maybe not. Or maybe a dinosaur's gonna try to eat us. I don't know. These aren't tamed dinosaurs anymore.
Right.
If this
That'd be
Oteu
bad.
has any influence over the jungle whatsoever, ignoring the chance to get his favor is probably not in our best interest.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Let's do that.
Oh, great. Follow my lead then. And she kind of like turns the canoe and starts to head towards the bank of the river.
Brielle, are you sure this is okay?
Brielle shrugs.
So you guys are able to
Doesn't
easily,
know anything about the lane.
beach the canoes. And you are, let's say, 20 feet away from the. Yes, ma'am. 20 feet away from the temple, or well, what you assume is probably a temple. It's without investigating further, it might be harder to tell.
Does this count as coastal?
A river bank doesn't usually count as a coast.
But we're also near Port Nyanzara, which is a coast.
It's gonna have at least some.
Strictly
similar
speaking,
terrain.
you're still like 10 miles or less from the coast, so I'll give it to you at the moment. But deeper in the jungle, I might not.
My terrain is coastal, so
Okay.
I was just curious. So I have advantages while we're still within parameters of coastal.
For the moment, I'll still give it to you, but another day and you probably won't be.
Yeah, eventually it's gonna go.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys have beached your canoes, and what you're looking at here is 3 kind of falling apart stone buildings that all have doors that open onto a central statue, and it looks to be like maybe a king or some very, very important person with his hand kind of like reached out dramatically in front of him, and he's standing on a pedestal. The pedestal is probably about 4 feet high, and then the statue of the person is just a little bit bigger than life size. And all around the edges of the pedestal, on all 4 sides of it, you're going to see, I know that I drew a circle, but it's square. You're going to see mazes. And the man who's standing there with his hand out has got a great big pennant kind of carved as part of the statue. It's not like somebody hanging there. That also seems to have a maze carved into it. So Iku would definitely point out like this is a representation of Oteu, and Gilly, from what you've seen and read so far, all this matches.
Hey, it's that guy.
It's the god of amazing dinosaurs.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
yes.
like him.
All dinosaurs are amazing. They are fantastic creatures.
So we can just basically make out now that there are mazes present on the pedestal, but we would have to get closer to really examine them further.
What did that guy say about
Okay.
mazes? If you find a maze, you should solve it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is anybody secretly a minotaur?
I mean, I would like to get closer. I have a book full of mazes. I might be able to solve them pretty quickly.
Does your book have the answers to the mazes?
In
the back?
Not in the back. No, I've taken time to like go through them and stuff though.
Oh.
So I've had practice,
Oh, okay.
but I just need to make sure it's safe.
I'll go up there with you.
Okay. I will roll investigation to kind of look for traps and whatnot, if that's what you would like me to do.
I would definitely like you to do that.
Sure. Wow.
Oof.
That would be a natural 1.
Oh.
Oof.
Oh, I'm not really sure how these traps would look in the jungle. I've never been in a jungle before.
So can you put you guys up on the map where you would be.
Sure. I think we would just be starting to get just a little bit closer.
Yeah.
Bria,
will you help me, please?
And Rickster will, I guess, look also.
I go for it.
I know what hunting traps look like.
Bria will take a peek.
It's a 17.
That did really bad. I had 7 the other day.
Are you looking at the statue,
It's only a
Rixer, or are you looking at...
Just like the area around the statue,
Okay.
like that we would be walking to and be in once we're looking at the
Yeah,
statue.
you don't see anything but just dirt and plants.
Okay. It seems like it's probably safe. I don't see any traps.
Okay.
Rickster will walk up further.
How tall are these stone buildings?
Standard building height, so like the roof might be like, I don't know, 6 or 7 feet high.
What was it?
Well, okay, probably 7 or 8 feet high, I guess.
1 story or 2?
They're all one story.
Yeah, I assumed they were one. Brielle's gonna hop up on one.
Other buildings?
Yeah, she wants to get an overhead view.
Give me an athletics just to climb up there.
That's a 19 on the die.
You have no problem scrambling up to the top.
And then she would like to make a perception check of the surrounding areas, make sure we're still safe to be here.
Sure.
That's a natural 20. So with perception, that's a 23.
The jungle's very, very dense, so you don't see anything, but you also feel like your sight is definitely limited.
Right.
And with
Okay.
that high of a roll, I'm going to tell you would know that you don't have a very good sense visually of what. Now, you don't
Something
hear
could
anything.
come out of anywhere.
Yeah, you don't hear anything right now. You don't see anything moving right now. But if something was hiding 30 feet away from you or less, maybe even, you might not
Something
know.
stalking,
Yeah.
waiting. Okay. She's gonna take like a twig or a rock or whatever she can get off the top of this and kind of chuck it towards Gilly to get her attention, just like a little flick. And then she will sign, "Be careful. The forest is dense. Things could be hiding anywhere."
Okay, so everybody, stay away from the edge of the jungle. We don't know if anything can like pop out. Brielle says the forest is very dense.
Okay.
But she'll keep an active eye.
Iku is actually going to tell you that there is magic on this statue. It is abjuration magic on this statue. She is gonna is gonna tell you to don't. I know the temptation is there. Don't touch this statue. I'm not familiar with this particular temple.
Abjuration protects stuff.
Thank you.
If you're looking for your little cheat. I was
Keep
looking for
stuff
my
away
cheat
or
sheet.
vanishes it.
Mm-hmm.
And she is going to kind of like look very, very carefully. So she's going to tell you that there's a glyph of warding carved into the surface of the statue.
Oh,
That's neat.
If we can, and she'll tell you that there's something will probably happen if we touch the statue. I
right.
guess that's what her analysis is.
Gilly would have moved closer at this point, by the way.
Oh yeah, I don't know why
Where
she's
to?
all the way back there.
Actually, she's gonna be
On a statue?
looking around at the mazes, around the statue,
Probably
and
around here.
can I roll a history to see if any of these mazes would match up to any of the mazes in the book that I have?
Go for it.
So the mazes are on the pedestal?
That's what you're seeing, yeah.
Is the pedestal not count as part of the statue?
I mean, like, it's all, I guess, one single piece. But it's carved to look like a person standing on top of a pedestal.
It's only a 10.
You don't recognize any of these particular mazes?
Okay.
I mean, I mean, the general shape and some of the, like, I don't know, filigree around it, you know, is very similar, the same motif, but the mazes themselves are not the same.
Okay. Curious. And we can't touch the statue.
Iku will just kind of shrug and say, I don't know what will happen if you touch the statue.
Can we roll an Arcana on glyphs and warding?
Yeah.
Rhea doesn't know a lot about magic, but she has read some. What's my Arcana? 17?
You know that typically glyphs of warding, if you touch it, something bad happens.
No, nothing to my knowledge that a glyph of warding something good could happen.
Usually you touch it and something bad happens.
Something bad happens. Okay.
I wonder if there are mazes we have to solve in the buildings.
Okay. And Richard's gonna start walking towards the door of his building.
Okay.
I got one right behind me. So.
Gilly runs behind Richter.
Do you, I mean, I'm sorry, Ryan, I cut you off. What were you going to
So
say?
then it's going to walk into this building while Rick's going that one and kind of tap my quarterstaff. Let's shine some light on this. Cast light on me.
Are these doors open or closed?
There's no door.
There's no door at all.
It's a doorway,
okay,
yeah.
So it's just open.
Yep, you can definitely see in, and both of them are overgrown. Do orcs have dark vision?
Yes.
I want to say yes. Cool. So you can see in, Ryan, you can see him, Ron can see him very well. Both of you see a very dirty, mostly empty stone place. The walls are still pretty solid, so it's still pretty dark inside, both of them. But you each would see on the back side of each of the buildings a maze.
Is it like take up the whole wall, the like 15-foot length of the building?
No, the mazes are probably about 5 foot square in the center of each wall.
Oh, okay. Is it like painted? Is it carved?
It's carved.
Okay. Interesting.
Oh man, it's really dark in there. Gilly takes out a candle from her pack and casts light on it.
That's great.
You can see just fine, and you can see a same sort of maze.
Oh.
Rick's
I've never seen a candle like that before.
Molly, again, you see the same thing.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic because I can't get this candle to light with a match.
Call out from my building. Got a maze here.
Yeah, there's one in here too. Can I roll a history to see if this maze matches up
Sure.
to anything I've seen before?
Sure.
One on the pencil.
13, yeah, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 total.
I mean, it looks like a different maze. It doesn't.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. Alright. Hey, Iku, do you happen to see if there's any sort of magic on these mazes in here? I want to know if I can touch them.
She'll come in and she kind of looks at it for a second. Kind of puts her hand. She doesn't touch the wall, but kind of puts her hand over it. Yes, this has got some kind of divination spell put on it.
Divination. Okay. Is there like a stick in the room? Like
You can
twigs?
find a branch or something anywhere.
Definitely not like a vine or anything, because.
There's definitely a yellow flower on the vine you pick up.
Of course.
No, there's not.
So Gilly will take the candle in one hand and pick up the stick in the other, and go and. Is there a defined start point, or because some mazes have a defined start point,
Yep.
otherwise don't.
With your book of mazes from this religion, you found that it doesn't say like start and then an arrow,
Sure.
but there is like a pattern to the scroll work
Okay.
that denotes the start of the maze.
Okay. Gilly will go up and touch where the start would be with the stick. Not her hand, with stick.
Nothing happens.
Okay. Do you want me to roll an intelligence to think through the maze
Yes.
before I
Why you roll an intelligence check?
Okay.
If you want to solve the maze.
do? Natural 20. So
Scoreboard.
22.
You have no problem discerning the way to the center of this maze.
Okay. So once I kind of map it out in my head, I will take the stick and draw the pattern to finish the maze.
Nothing seems to happen.
Son of a gun. Okay.
Well, maybe you have
Just finger.
maybe you have his favor and you just don't know it yet.
I don't know. How far up on the wall is this map? Or is this maze? Can Gilly reach it all?
Let's say it starts 2 feet above the ground and goes up 5, so top of it is going to be 7. So
Rixer's right there, though.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so that was worth a shot, Rixer. I'm gonna do something kind of crazy.
What?
I need you to hold me.
Oh, okay. And just like instantly like pick you up and hold you like high over my head like this?
No. Like, if you can imagine, like, a seat with your arms, like, mid-length. I need to be able to trace the maze with my finger. I'm just too short to reach the top.
Oh, okay. And he'll do that. Kind of like put his hands in front of his stomach so you can sit on them.
Okay. And Gilly takes a deep breath and then touches the start point. Ah!
nothing happens. I mean, you don't feel anything different.
Okay. And traces the maze to completion.
When you get to the center point, like you have your hand, your finger there, and it feels a little bit warmer than it did a second ago.
Mm.
That's it.
It's hot.
I mean, not
Roll
even
con
not
save.
burning, but just warmer.
Let me feel like almost drop you, but like catch you with one hand and poke the middle.
You don't. The stone feels cold to you.
It doesn't feel. I don't feel anything.
It feels a little bit warmer to me. Okay, let's go try the other one.
Okay, and Bruce will just walk out like still holding you the same way.
When you come out, Brielle's like, her head kind of cocked.
Like a mama cat.
What is going on?
Gilly like victoriously points to Mount Woods building.
Doing the Eddie running place.
Yeah, you guys can walk over there and you see similar sight. It's a different maze. So if you want to solve it, you'll need to make an intelligence check.
Kind of like it in here. I could put a table, a
Wait.
chair.
Rixer, take me back. I need to circle the statue.
Okay. And I go back to the statue.
I'm gonna look around the mazes to see if any of them would match up the one I just made warm in the other building.
They seem to be distinct.
Okay. Okay, to Mount Woods building.
Okay.
Maybe a
Stomp over
curtain
there.
in that window.
I will look at the maze
Yeah.
and try to solve it. Ooh, that is not as good. That's only a 7.
This maze, you're not really sure what you're looking at here. This is a pretty tough maze.
Okay. Gilly's gonna stare at it for about 10 minutes until Sam can roll again.
Okay, what do the rest of you guys want to do while
Roll
again,
Gilly
6
is
seconds.
squinting at
I
it?
can roll every 6 seconds?
Because a round is
can
6 seconds.
try my roll at it?
I mean, it does take time though for Gilly to be doing this in the first place, and so she's
Oh, that's valid.
giving to other people time to do something while she's kind of getting stumped. I think. works
Well,
out
yeah,
very well.
yeah, I know that, but I mean, like, in game wise.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
we'll let
She-
other people do stuff and then we
Right.
can come back. I'm
Yeah,
not worried
that's
about 10 minutes exactly.
Like, I think we can figure this out. Cast guidance on myself.
Sure.
You start right here. Point to the starting spot.
You can find the starting spot.
Okay.
6 plus 3 is 9.
You agree with Gilly. Like, it is definitely a very tough
Huh.
maze.
Right, sir, you can put me down if your arms are getting tired.
No.
Oh, good, you're kind of comfy. And she leans back.
I want to try now.
Okay.
I have to roll again.
Intelligence.
Oh, never mind. Holy crap!
didn't
I
have 20?
just rolled a 20. But I have a -1 to my intelligence, so it's only a 19.
You still, So, if you don't mind, Dana, Rixer goes up there. So this is the start, and Rixer just starts moving his finger on it, like, okay, and I go here, and you guys are like kind of cringing a little bit, like, what happens when he gets this wrong? What happens when he gets this wrong? And like, you could see him like, okay, it comes to different points where he go different directions,
Put me
and
down, put me down.
he's thinking about it. He's lost in thought and holding Gilly tight.
Yep.
And
Well prepared today.
After a couple seconds, Rixer gets right to the center of the maze.
Holy.
And Rixer, you feel the stone there is warmer than the rest of it was.
Huh.
Holy crap.
Gilly, it did that thing.
You made it warm.
Yeah. And what does that mean?
I don't know yet.
Okay, but that you can try it again now if you want.
No,
That's how I did it.
I'm good. Let's go do the last one together.
Oh, okay. Stomp, stomp, stomp.
Wait. Make sure there's no traps.
Oh, okay.
So you guys go to the third building.
Before I leave the room, like, yeah, I think I'm gonna keep looking. Thanks for showing me your place stuff.
12 says, "You're welcome."
22 for traps.
You don't find new traps.
Okay.
You can look inside, and it is, in a lot of ways, identical to the other two, but it does seem to be a different and unique maze.
Okay.
There we go.
That's awesome. I love how Gilly is stacked on top of Rixer. That's wonderful.
Yeah, the minis actually can. The mini can actually support it.
That is delightful.
Hey, Brianna, what's up?
She points to herself.
So what are you guys gonna do here?
We're gonna do this maze. I'll let Gilly try it first.
Okay. Gilly just kind of looks at it. All right. 20.
You are able to figure this maze out very quickly.
Okay. So here's the start. And this way and that way and this way and that way and this way and that way and to the side and around the bend and here.
And the centerpiece feels much warmer than the rest of the stone.
Warm.
That was really fast.
Thank you. Not as fast as you though. You got it. Like that last one, man. Whew.
Yeah, I was surprised.
And just after you finish, Gilly, Iku, who's been standing out by the statue the whole time, will kind of call out to you, "My friends, whatever it is that you did, I'm no longer seeing the magic on this statue."
Oh.
So we can touch it now.
You may, if you wish.
Did you hear that?
She's gonna back up.
12 touches statue.
12 reaches his paw out.
Good idea.
12 reaches his paw out and puts it on the stone pedestal, and nothing happens.
We have to do the mazes around the pedestal now.
I think so. That would be a good idea.
Don't you want me to let you down then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Carefully put you down.
Okay. Oh no. I take my stick that I've been kind of holding with my candle and poke the statue. Poke. Uh-huh.
Nothing happens.
Okay. I will study one of the mazes around the statue's base.
So Rixer's gonna be kind of almost hovering over you, watching very intently at what Gilly's doing.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Does this look like it's several different mazes, or is it one big maze?
Give me an investigation check.
Oh, that's a good question.
11.
You're not really sure. I guess with 11, you think it looks like 4 separate mazes.
Gilly's gonna look for a starting point.
Sure.
Well, that's a 2 on the die. So that's a 4.
Give me advantage because you do know what starting points on these mazes look like.
Fair enough. That's a natural 20.
Oh my
Nice.
goodness.
How is that 4?
pretty
No,
good at these
that
mazes.
is 2.
Between all of us,
Oh.
I think we've gotten 4 or 5 20s today.
So you're looking, and
Lucky.
you think you find the starting point,
Okay.
and you're looking at it, and you realize that it doesn't quite look the way it should. It's close, but it's not quite right. Almost like it's a false start. And you
Oh.
go to a different side, and you find another false start,
Okay.
and again another false start, and you go all the way to the 4th side before you find what is really a real proper starting point on a maze.
Okay. Oh, okay. So that's interesting. Can I gather then that these are all connected? Because
They
going
do seem to
around-
be distinct, separate mazes.
They are separate mazes.
They are separate mazes, but the other 3 have got like false starts.
Ah, I see. Okay. So, kind of keeping my vision on the start. Actually, I'll put the stick there. I want to kind of visually track where the maze goes and try
Yeah,
to figure
give me
it
an
out.
intelligence check.
17, 18, 19.
You are able to figure the maze out.
Okay. So,
Brewster's like, this like anticipation, like waiting for you to start, watching you closely.
Gilly talks out loud. Well,
That's right.
oh, that didn't work. Turn around, turn around. So she's kind of talking through the maze,
Who's
and
she
then
talking to?
Gilly puts her finger on the starting point.
Brewster grabs Gilly to scare the shit out of her
Ah!
as soon as she touches it.
That's not funny. There are monsters out there. Ah!
Yeah, but speaking of that, I'd like to roll a perception check.
Do it.
That is the same result, actually, as my last one, which would be 18? Yeah, 18.
You hear from the surrounding area right after Richter does that a very, very loud buzzing sound, and the sounds of something, many, it's probably small things, basically taking flight in the underbrush.
She's gonna take something and chuck it at Gilly, whatever's up there that she can grab,
What?
and then she's gonna go, "You fucked up. There's
Uh-oh.
something coming. She just scared the crap out of something that's coming this way."
Oh, Richard, you scared something. It's coming this way.
I didn't mean. I just thought it was funny.
Gilly
Bro.
quickly traces the
Yep,
path.
you've already got it.
Okay.
So you come to the end, and as you touch the center point, because it doesn't take much, because you're kind of just lightly having your finger touching the stone. It's just enough pressure to push the stone in with a small click,
Okay.
and then you kind of like pull your hand back, and a small drawer almost just kind of like spring loads and comes out
Okay.
about 4 or 5 inches, and
Okay.
there's a little. You can look clearly inside of an open trawl almost, and there is a black sphere inside of it,
Okay.
an orb, if you will,
Okay.
probably about the size of Gilly's fist.
Okay. So black orb, it takes up space. It's not like a sphere to nowhere. It's
No, it's like an object kind of
Yes.
rolling around a little bit
Okay.
inside of this drawer.
Like, okay, I grab it.
Totally not.
I mean, again, it's about the same size as your hand, but you have it.
Okay.
And you can feel that, like, instantly, like, it's got carvings all the way around the entire surface.
Okay. Back to the canoes now.
Brielle's already on the ground.
Run.
Richter just pick up Gilly and book it.
Yeah. You guys are able, and Iku kind of like stands back for a second to let you guys pass, and then you guys are able to book it to the canoes, and you're able to get them into the water. When you can see, and as you're doing this, like this buzzing sound gets louder and louder and louder. You had like a loud droning sound almost. And if you look behind you, especially as you kind of get into the canoes and kind of kick off into the water and you get some distance from the shore, you see disgusting looking pink creatures with, I guess, 4 arms and a long snake-like tail, kind of a hairy head and a very, very long snout.
What?
come.
Oh.
There's probably about a half dozen of them.
That thing's
Come just
ugly.
like buzzing up to the edge of the water, but they don't seem interested in flying over the water itself.
It's like you took a bat
What?
and a mosquito and just smashed them together.
And then,
made
like-
them angry.
That's exactly what
and
that
then
is. Yeah.
waxed the most of it.
All right, but you feel like you have been able to successfully avoid these sturges.
Brielle's gonna keep an eye on. She's got an arrow in hand and her bow ready just in case.
Yeah. Again, they don't
As we're
follow.
Flowing away.
They don't
She's
follow you guys into the river.
Gonna be on guard.
And Iku will say, "Oh, that was very, very close.
What are those things?
Those are sturges. They nasty little creatures. They are in ones and twos little more than a nuisance. But a swarm that size could pick you apart. They will latch onto you and they will suck out your blood with those long, thin noses they have.
That's not good.
It's best to try to avoid them. They live in dark, damp conditions. When you, Rixer, decided to be
Brielle's
humorous,
giving you the nastiest glare.
I suspect that you awoke them from their daytime hibernation.
That makes sense.
You all must be very careful in this jungle.
Gotta be careful. So careful.
Alright, so our heroes seem to have survived a little bit of a puzzle area. They managed to not get attacked by the swarm of sturges that were hiding just beyond the edge of sight. They seem to have gained a piece of treasure. We'll have to figure out what that is next week when we continue. If you like what we do here, you can find us on most social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, by searching out Monday Night TPK. Eventually we will have fun and interesting content on our YouTube channel titled Above the Table Games. We have great ambitions for that.
How many times have we said that now? There's nothing
Almost
out there?
every episode. Well,
Yeah.
there's these podcasts get published there
Okay.
also.
Okay.
Great
So there is some
ambition,
content.
No motivation.
Just technical difficulties.
It's been technical
it's been
difficulties.
technical
Yeah.
difficulties.
So as always, thank you very much for joining us at our table, and have a good night.
Hi, my name's Gilly. And I like to eat food. I'm having nachos today. Really good nachos, and it's the first thing I gotta sit down and eat all day. It's so good.